it took forever for the file to show up, and I should have gotten 4 files. I only got 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So I guess it's recording. We can crop it, hopefully. So, hello, this is the TCUP Virtual Tea Party on Thursday, May 10th. We have about 9 or 10 attendees, which is fabulous. And Roxy and I have a couple updates to share with everyone. So,
Sharing your screen?
oh yeah, you are. Oh yeah.
Yep, you are.
And so, first off, I wanted to say I went and checked earlier. We pushed another handful of coaches live this morning. Now we have 40 coaches live on TCUP Wellness. Oh, and I'm hearing an echo. I tell you what, I think I can mute people. Let me see what that is. Not myself. If you get participant. Aha.
Yep.
Oh, you are smart. Mute all. All right, you guys, you're going on mute. But you can unmute yourselves, it looks like. So that's good. Yeah, if you need to speak up. Okay, so yeah, so we have 40 people. 40 coaches who have now approved their profiles, and there might be a few more in the inbox. And if you're one of them, we're getting to you soon. And then also earlier today, Lisa Johnson, you may be familiar with her. She's one of the TCUP buddies. And I've been working with her on and off to see how I could engage her plus a few other folks for more of the Schedule Once heavy lifting. And it's been a real trade-off between just getting the coaches out, which I know how to do relatively quickly, versus investing time in refining all of those training materials. So anyway, now we have, Lisa and I met earlier today for I think almost 90 minutes, coming up with a game plan for what we're calling the TCUP Profile Action Team. I like to brand things, you know, it's our advertising background. So the way this is going to get approached is Lisa plus 2 other folks, maybe 3. We have many volunteers, so but we realize, you know, that you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen or it's very difficult to get things done. So this action team, what we're going to do is we're going to use the survey tool again to reach out to each of you who are now live and ask point blank, what do you need that would help customize the experience for you as a coach to offer your services to your current clients, you know, that you wanted to bring into TCUP, or new clients that you're hoping to get through TCUP. And we know, you know, you guys were very patient with us, and really, we're really grateful that we could get so many coaches up using our standard template that really streamlined things and let us kind of get to volume. And if you've read any of the emails going out, you know, looking at market presence, volume of coaches matters. If you have 10 coaches versus 40 versus 70, you know, we're not trying to get into the multi-hundreds by any stretch. We're absolutely just getting the ones who've come through our onboarding process and get them up, get all of you up with your profiles and get you operational. And we realize after working with enough of you and hearing feedback from the TCUP Buddy meetings that sorry, Bodhi is interrupting, I think she wants food. She's like, has she got water in there? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Oh, this is being recorded too, isn't it? For posterity. She must be hungry. Yeah. So, sorry for the interruption. What was I going to say? The TCUP Buddy meetings, we've been hearing that there are settings in the events and in some of the booking pages that would work better if we customize them for some of you. And we're perfectly happy to do that now that we can kind of take a breath and we've got enough people out there that we feel like we've got that presence. So what we're going to do is we've got a series of questions we're going to ask each of you to respond to. And some of you may just say, yeah, it's fine as is, I'm good, I can keep it simple. Some of you may want to do things like adjust how many days out a client can book, or actually that's, or how many minutes a meeting is, like 30 versus an hour, how many sessions. You know, there are a number of variables that we can adjust. And unfortunately, the way Schedule Once works, there are certain settings that can only be adjusted on the admin side. And then there are other settings which can't be adjusted at all because of the way it connects into the PayPal integrated payment system. And one of those, just so you guys know, is we cannot allow an approved booking step to happen. As soon as I try to turn that on, it says, you've got this setting, you can't do that. And so the way that we're recommending, just to kind of get this out to you guys, we're recommending you just really carefully set your calendar for what you're comfortable accepting. And if a client books it, then you have already said, I'm going to be available these days, these times, and the clients come in, should be able to automatically book it. And because the system works this way, this is a constraint that we're working under today. Roxy and I are already starting to gather requirements for how we would do a custom build and walk away from schedule once. Don't tell them. But down the road, there's enough. We feel that there are enough things that we would like to have different, and the cost is relatively high. And their billing model is not great because they want payment upfront for the whole year for each coach, which is killing us. But if we were to just take that money next year, instead of having to pay it all up front in January, we can invest it in some custom build. So that's part of what we're doing. But in the meantime, we know that there are some customizations that people want, and we want to address those, and we want you to feel like you can put your best foot forward to your clients and to your prospective clients. So with that, I'll take a break, and if someone wants to raise any questions about that, please do. I think you can unmute yourself. Bodhi has her squeaker toy. I don't know if you can certainly hear it. Okay, so I'm going to assume no questions. Just unmute yourself anytime if you want to interrupt. So then on to the talent survey. So I think I haven't gone to check the number of coaches who've responded, but I know it's in the dozens. And so I appreciate to all of you who have done that. Roxy and I are going through it, and we're going to be reaching out to each of you to set up these leadership teams and these action groups to pursue things like the foundation, like the sales effort. There are people who might want to work on commission to help us make sales. We've got so many different ideas and areas of focus. We've got to be careful not to spread ourselves too thin. You get too many irons in the fire, nothing's going to work. It'll put the fire out. Just a little metaphor. Just came up. But we got to be careful about that. But at the same time, there's so many things we want to have move forward, and some things we just must have move forward. So that was the purpose of the survey. And if you haven't yet participated, please go to the Papyrus portal, and there's a link. I think I've now put it on the help page and the home page and a couple other places. So fill that out. It's an ongoing survey. It's not closing down. You can go back and edit your responses. We've kept it very flexible. Should I take her squeaky toy?
No.
Will you guys speak up if it's interrupting the audio? Sound effects. Okay, marketing. So in the next couple slides, I have this beautiful design. I just think Roxy's brilliant. So she's come up with some really gorgeous stuff. I'm excited to share with you. We just did some test printouts today, and we're going to do some more prints to get a batch ready. Oh, speaking of the portal, for those of you in and around Denver or visiting Denver, last night, I think, or yesterday afternoon, we posted a notice on the portal that we're having a tea party next Tuesday at 2 because we love alliteration. So it's going to be here at our Denver home office, which is literally a home and an office. And any of you who are in and around town, if you email me, I'll send you our address. I didn't want to just post it on the portal. I don't want to alienate all the folks who are outside of town, so we decided not to send it to the entire email thread. But if you are interested, or you have time, we're in the Lakewood area. We'd love to have you. It would start at 2 o'clock. We're going to do some brainstorming around some of these marketing ideas. And And if you're here and we're going to get these print materials ready, we can hand you a batch that you could walk away with. And then we're going to be mailing everyone else who wants them. Social media. So, yes, go ahead.
Any chance, because I was debating about this because I'm here, but I'm supposed to leave, go back to California. But I mean, are you by any chance doing any of that online, or as I was going back?
That's a good question. There's no reason we couldn't have it be a Zoom meeting. Why not?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
It'd be a virtual tea party with the people here in the room. Yeah, I love it. Would you guys like that?
Yeah.
Those of you who care?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll turn it into a virtual one that just like this, but there'll be a room for, well, we don't know how many people.
Yeah.
So far, one person.
There might be one person.
There'll be the two of us. There'll be, no, Bodhi may not be there because she'll be with
Oh, that's right.
Cassidy.
And I'm not going to be there.
You're not going to be there.
Just kidding.
You better be there. You're not taking vacation. No, you're not. No vacations till
Going
September.
fishing.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks for suggesting that.
Good idea, Allison.
Great. I'm going to write that
Okay.
This Tuesday too? Sorry.
This coming Tuesday, yep. And it's short notice, and we know that, and we just kind of did it, by the seat of our pants yesterday. Oh, Bodhi, she wants her ball. Oh my God. Okay, dog. Sorry. You're just getting so squeaky. So where was I going? Oh, so social media. Let me jump onto that. Oh, but it is this coming Tuesday at 2:00.
Thank you. Okay.
And we'll just turn on, because it's going to be virtual. I wish I had thought of that. I just think it's brilliant. I could go ahead and send out a message to everyone at Teacup and just say you're invited. This week's tea party will be a virtual tea party, and some people will be in person. There we go. Social. So there's several people who have been testing out our blogging tool, and I say testing because when we rebuilt this website, we did it with a WordPress foundation, but there's a lot of hacks done by the developer who did this. And that means that if we had people come in through the standard back end of WordPress, it's clumsy. And so instead, what we did is we had him build a front end for the blogging. And so I think we have enough now that have been tested. We've still got to figure out a little bit around the media, the imagery, and that, because Roxy and I, we've got a huge library of images that we own the copyright to. And so you guys don't have to worry about that. And we would like to expose it to you so you could pick from the library. Or even if there's a picture you like that you have and you say, hey, I'd like you to find something similar that's within your copyright library, then we can do that as well. So social media. So I posted one blog, was it day before yesterday, I guess, from Kristen. And then we've got a couple more coming in, and I may end up being able to post a second one this evening. I guess we'll see, or maybe tomorrow morning. I know at some point we're going to have like a blog a day, and we'll have the tweets and the LinkedIn and all of it connected. Some of that is taking just a slight bit longer time to get off the ground, but we're getting there. For SEO, we met with Fresh Lime last week, Elle. And in my letter I sent to everyone a few days ago about the events, if you guys are wanting to host either local events, because you have control, by the way, within your booking pages, you have control over the localization, or what do they call it? It's not localization. Location. The location setting in your booking page can be customized to not be remote. And in fact, maybe that's one of the customizations we make, is we build you a second one if you want to do local and remote. It's not that it has to be one or the other, because actually you can't do both with the same booking page. You have to have a second booking page.
And then,
Yeah.
That's
So backtrack a little bit there. Any events, online or local, that you would like to have Teacup help promote. And of course, if it's through Teacup, we want to promote it. The SEO is done in such a way that there's little like list, what do they call those, Roxy, that
Business page?
business, is it the business? It's the little window
Oh,
off
yeah.
to the right.
Yeah, I think it's the
Business something or
it's
other.
something. Yeah.
We're not very savvy in the social part. We're learning, the SEO part rather. But anyway, we can promote events on a weekly basis. So we have things that are coming up. It can come up in the search results and it'll say, Teacup has something on Tuesday at 2, or whenever. So we want to hear about those, and we'll be doing more outreach, and maybe there's even a way if if we have, there should be like a way instead of just email, because that could get lost. We should maybe have like a marketing not like an event calendar, because we want to get things out on Eventbrite. There's a lot of ideas about how to get the word out about various events, remote or local.
Right.
And then in that vein, I thought I would let you know that I reached out to Whole Foods recently, and it's just the local one here in Belmar, Lakewood, Colorado. And they do these things called wellness walks, but they stopped doing it not that long ago, I guess. And then they're thinking of restarting it. And I said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if some of our coaches came and did wellness walks and did it in a way that, maybe there's like a table with some Teacup handouts and things. You guys could customize them to suit whatever area of specialty you have. I know some of you have smart grocery shopping on your topics. And of course, Whole Foods is just one of many. I mean, any grocery store, there's so many like King Soopers and Safeway and Natural Grocers. They're all starting to do, they're putting an emphasis on healthy eating and helping customers find that healthy stuff. So this is part of the outreach that we're beginning as of this week. We will be doing more of that, and then we'll be connecting with you guys as we put together the event calendar, I guess, because a wellness walk is a type of event.
Yeah.
So any questions about those first 3 bullets that we've gone through? Okay, and I am not at all aware of time. 4:28, we're almost out of time. Blogging, I think I already touched on blogging. Yeah, under social. And we've talked about the tea party, and there are no questions. So now I can show this gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
So the next things you're going to see is the front and the back of a 5x7 postcard. And what we're planning to do, and we're open for suggestions, but we know we're sending out 50 business cards to those of you who are interested. In addition, we would like to send out 50 postcards and 50 bookmarks, and plus 1 car decal. And we'll show you what these are next. So this is the front of the postcard. And the idea is, we're picking up the Teacup image, got the little logo on the tag, and I just thought it was so fun. It's kind of like a get well card. And it's a beautiful image. And then the back talks about the company name. Some of this is a little bit borrowed from the website, but now we can say we offer over 80 wellness specialty topics. But Roxy went to go take care of Bodhi.
Yeah, I'm back. I hit her ball.
You could talk through this. I'm doing all the talking.
I
God.
know. You're probably tired of talking.
I'm tired of talking.
I hit Bodhi's ball, and
Here.
she's very
Go back to that.
okay. She's very upset with me. So
And I'm going to do, I just love it. Does anyone else love this, or is it just me?
you're the only one.
Yeah, it's so clever.
So yeah, the concept is if for example, you had partnered with a doctor's office and you wanted to leave these in the doctor's office, it would kind of look like a get well card, and then on the back it would talk about Teacup Wellness. And so what I thought was one of the huge benefits, I mean there's many benefits, but one of the top benefits for our visitors is all of the different topics. So I wanted to highlight a few that I thought were attractive and a little bit different. So that's what you see on the right-hand side are just a few of our 80 topics that we have. And I thought that was something that would really be inspiring to somebody who picked up the card and was maybe not feeling well and thought about maybe taking care of themselves a little bit. And that leads me to the,
I just want to point this out too.
You hadn't talked about that yet.
No,
okay, so where it says find your coach at teacupwellness.com, we've purposely left a white space for you to write in your name. And so then when the guest comes to the website and they're booking an appointment, and the appointment intake form says how did you hear about us, then they'll put their coach's name in there, and then that lets us know that you led them to the website. So
it's like a low-tech way of getting visibility so that you guys get credit for the legwork of getting these marketing materials out there, which means, you get that 75%. And you're not obligated to put your name if you don't want to bother with it or whatever. But we found when we did all the pricing of customizing and trying to print with names or coming up with a coding system, we thought, you know what, let's just keep it.
Yeah.
It's even a little more personal and kind of fun to have a name. And it is a get well card, so having a name on the back
right.
and handwriting is kind of nice too. So
okay. Yeah. So
thanks.
And then the this is a bookmark. And so I was thinking about trying to tie in a way, the teacup. And so I came up with the quote. I read it. I adapted it a little bit, but it says, take care of yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. And so it's just sort of a reminder when you're reading your book that, hey, maybe I could reach out for a little bit of wellness help from Teacup Wellness. And this has the exact same copy, other than that quote on the front. And then there's, again, the space under Find Your Coach for you to write your name or personal message on the back side of the bookmark.
And can I point out one other thing?
Yes.
Instead of putting Denver, Colorado as a location, we felt that it was important to drive home the idea that we are local. I don't know if I can enlarge, probably not. Local, we're remote, and we're global. So we're kind of like covering all the spectrum without naming a city and state. But if they look us up, Google results show that we're in Denver, Colorado. Okay, thanks.
No problem. And then these are just a tad blurry, but these are also part of the first kit that we're planning, some vinyl lettering for your car. And Anne has some on her car already. And I think this is a really good way for you to get the Teacup Wellness name as you're driving around. So
if you want to.
It's totally optional. All this is optional.
All of it.
And so this is the small one I have in the back window, but you could also put that on your side window, and then the bigger one would go in the back of your SUV, like the one I've shown here. So I think that's it.
And then I'm going to point out the tagline, because we did have the tagline of transforming the way we do healthcare. And what we decided was that's really our mission statement, that we felt that when teacupwellness.com stands alone, like it does on a decal or on a business card, we thought we should incorporate the coaching aspect so people understand immediately what we do. That it's not we're selling tea to help you get well, that it's coaching for a healthier you. So I wanted to point that out too, because I thought that was a really nice, we kicked around a number of different options. And then, I think that was it. So then let me, if I can figure this out, I don't know. Why doesn't that work? Because I clicked in the type to filter. Okay, so I've just unmuted everybody, so you don't have to bother unmuting if you don't. There's a couple still muted. If you guys have any comments, we could wrap up. I know we went a little long. Love to hear feedback.
I think that the postcard is so smart. I think it's going to be great. I know if I were, sometimes you go to the doctor's office and you walk out going, "What did I just pay for?" And they didn't even tell me what was wrong, and I don't know how to fix it, and then you can, I don't know.
Or they say you're fine, but you don't feel well.
Right.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
taking pills, you know, and now we're talking about really getting well, you
Yeah.
know, get well, not just your symptoms, but
Sure.
the whole of you.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to zoom in so you can see this copy. Roxy came up with this.
A lot of it's from
Yeah.
the website.
Yeah, she borrowed some of
I
my
borrowed a
copy,
lot
but
of
that's
it,
all
yeah.
right. But I love the way it says you might not be sick, but not completely well either. You know,
Yeah.
we take the whole you, not just your symptoms. I just thought that was really sharp.
Yeah, I think it looks great, this stuff. I do have one question that's
Yeah.
a little bit, because one of the people I was helping with being a buddy for was asking, are we going to, like, I guess he has his own forms that he's been using for clients, you know, for his other business and stuff. And just so, I don't know, we're all kind of on one same page, is there going to be anything that you're going to have, like, to fill out?
Yes.
Just some guidance, I guess, is what he was asking.
Yeah, so if you go in, the first batch of coaches, we actually did it a little differently for the approval cycle. I displayed the booking form so people got to see it. But the second round, I didn't call it out, but if you go in and use your test Teacup account, the booking page, when you fill it out as though you were a coach or a client, you'll see the intake form is the booking, what do they call it? The booking form. The client booking
I
form.
remember when I went through the thing. Okay.
So that's what we did is we synthesized what we saw from all the questions, at least the first 50 or so, when we were looking at all the profile entries. We took those ideas, incorporated them in the booking form, but we would encourage you, you know, if there is anything big that you think should go across the board, we'll update the client intake form. If there are things that you want to do custom for your own clients through Teacup Wellness, we would encourage you to go ahead and have a supplemental booking form. We're not trying to say it's the end all be all, the all end all. And the terms of use, by the way, is part of what they're agreeing to when they submit that client booking form. And the terms of use is our, what's the term there? It's like our get out of jail free card. That's not it. It's the disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
That, you know, we're not here to, we're not doctors, we're not prescribing, we're not diagnosing. You know, it's got all of that language in there as well.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, no, and I think he was just also asking, like, if there would be anything. I mean, I don't know if we should ask. It might be worth having something to be able to all sort of have some sort of document. Like if you're doing, well, I guess he's not even doing the group coaching, but if you are doing group coaching, to have something that, you know, you can kind of see other people, you know, share some notes. But I'm not, I don't know. I guess it's different when I was working in a hospital versus, I guess, charity.
Oh, are you talking about like documenting the coaching experience?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So for one, there are two aspects here. One of them is that the documentation has to stay within the coach from a privacy standpoint. We are looking at options for offering a documentation tool for the coaches as kind of an extra value add. It has taken a backseat as we work on all the sales and marketing things. But that, even if you're doing group coaching, it's usually still one coach, many clients. And I would say that what the client tells us has got to stay confidential. And any tool that we offer you would be HIPAA compliant and would still be only something that you can see. We want the client to feel confident that what they tell us in the privacy of a phone call or a Zoom meeting is confidential, or what they write in the booking intake form is confidential.
Okay.
So it is different.
But then all the people in the group would have to sign something, right? Like we might be adhering to HIPAA and PHI, but what if someone in the group isn't, right? Maybe
well,
one
you know,
like, oh, and I went here and this person said this.
You know,
Would
that's
they all have to sign something?
when they sign the terms of use, like every attendee has to do that. And there is, I think maybe we could have a standard that every coach just reminds. It's sort of like what I'm reminded of the AA meetings where we say, what you hear here, what you see here, whatever, who you see here, it stays here.
Yeah, so start with group rules and then introductions and what we're going to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it would be nice to standardize on that, but again, on the other stand, I would say coaches are professionals in your own right, and you have your standard protocol that you follow. We don't want to over-engineer or over-structure. And in fact, there's like a fine line from an IRS perspective. Are you guys employees or are you contractors? Contractors make your own decisions on many aspects of how you operate. So we have to be careful not to cross that line. But I hear you.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I think maybe we'll just see how things go. But really, I think when in a group setting, people should probably say first name only anyway. Or if they are first name, last name. People are only going to share as much as they're comfortable having out in a public arena anyway, I would think. Any other questions or comments?
Can you explain the group coaching setup? I'm kind of confused by it.
Okay.
And how that works. Like, I understand if I rally my own group and send them to the platform and then they create a group, that's one thing. But if some random Joe comes to your website and goes, "Ooh, I want to do this group coaching," clicks, buys, how does that work? Like, how will that turn into a group? Can you explain the group?
Yeah, so I think the idea is that when you are telling people that you've got group sessions, it's a good idea to kind of target it around some topics. So it can easily be strangers that are coming together to talk about a common topic. It could be addictions or weight loss, or, hey, let's all learn about aromatherapy. So yeah, there will be strangers that get thrown together and become friends because they're learning from each other and hearing.
No, I mean, like how is that set up? Like, is it going to be always available, or is it like I'm going to schedule a group session? It's going to be this topic. It starts this date.
Yeah.
Like right now, all I see is just that page, and it just says click group, and I just don't know on the back end like how that runs. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And right now, the way the groups are set up, it is kind of generic from a topic perspective, unless you're calling it out as a specific kind of group. And this may be where we need to do some customization. Like if you cover 30 topics, then I would see that it could be difficult for someone going into a group to find out what you're going to cover if they sign up for a group session next Thursday. But if you say, I'm going to have an event next Thursday, and it's going to be focused on this one of all of my topics, then you would market around that. So I do see what you're saying, and I think it's part of why we're looking at the customization. I think it is one of the good reasons that we need to provide that ability to create unique events for you guys.
Okay.
But what could happen too is if we can update your profile page as needed and with capacity, as long as we have the capacity to do it. We can always put like a little box or a headline that says group event next Tuesday, 2:00. Don't do 2:00. But you could have that highlighted on your profile page and then talk it up in social media, and then draw people in and say, this is that event on Thursday. That's another way of thinking about it.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah, very good.
Any others? Anything else we should be bringing up that we haven't got?
Well, one thing along the lines of the design and artwork is that look for on the portal. I'm gonna publish some suggestions on how to place the logo
Oh yeah,
on
your
your
marketing.
on
I
your
mean,
marketing materials.
Sorry, not
yeah.
marketing, but on
Well, your intake forms.
your what do they call it? It's the materials you share with your clients.
Yeah, yeah. So if you have an information sheet, for example, and then you just want to brand it with your branding and Teacup's logo too, we're going to give you the logo, and I'll just kind of show you a suggestive placement if you have two logos, because that can be a little crazy. So I'm going to have some ideas on that, and I'll put it on the board. That's the only
I'm glad you brought that up. And that's a shift from what we thought we were going to do about a month ago when we were saying we'll have you. We did have you submit your materials. Many of you have done that on the portal. And then we realized that sheer volume and capacity prevents us from actually having that hands-on work. And that instead we would like to trust that you guys will do it. We would like to verify, trust and verify, but we'd like to see after you put the logo on, if you could just run it by us one more time, probably using that portal or some other mechanism we'll come up with. And then that way we see there's some standardization and we're comfortable that Teacup is being branded for the client alongside your own branding. And of course, this stays your copyright, stays your intellectual property. Nobody else sees it but you. I just want to assure you of that. And us. And us. We promise to be respectful. Any other questions? All right, so who took notes and can put it all out on the FAQ? Oops.
Well, we recorded
Oh, we
it.
recorded it. We'll just
Yeah.
put this on the FAQ. Got questions? Come here. Spend 47 minutes of your life teasing them out. Good luck. All right, guys. Well, thank you for letting us go long. This was really fun. Glad we had a nice turnout. I will probably be canceling Saturday. We're going to be busy building profiles still and doing marketing and stuff. So.
I will not show up.
Thank you, Sherry. We'll go ahead and we'll get the word out to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon. See you on Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.